Hello, and welcome to this episode of In Discussion With from Pharmacy Update Online. Today, I'm talking to Professor Alex Miras about the use of semaglutide for obesity management. Please, can you start by introducing yourself?
Hi, my name is Alex Miras. I'm a professor of endocrinology at Ulster University. I am a clinical academic, which means that half of my work is spent doing research and the other half is doing clinical work. And I only focus in the management of and research of obesity.
Now, recently, there's been a lot in the news about the use of semaglutide for obesity. I'm thinking of celebrity endorsement, and headlines saying you might be able to get this from community pharmacies. And I know that community pharmacists and GPs are already getting questions about it. So could you start by telling us what is semaglutide and what does it do?
That's a very good question. Semaglutide is what we call an analog. This means a synthetic form of a natural hormone called GLP-1 or glucagon-like peptide 1. This is a hormone that we all produce from our small intestine, mainly when we eat. And it does two things. It makes our pancreas produce insulin to reduce our blood glucose, but it also signals to the brain fullness. So it is a satiety hormone. And therefore, what we have found when using this group of medications in the last 16 years for the treatment of type 2 diabetes is that not only these people's glucose was reduced, but also they lost weight. So now we are now moving to the use of this type of analogs, including GLP-1 receptor analogs for the treatment of the disease of obesity because of their satiety-inducing effect.
Now, we've had liraglutide on the market for some time. So is this basically the same thing?
These are all groups, or rather, they're all members of the same group and family. These are all GLP-1 receptor agonists. But what has happened over the years is that they have evolved. And now we have got what we call the third generation gut hormone analogs. We started with having medications that were injected twice a day. Then we moved to liraglutide, which you are right, was initially used for diabetes, and subsequently through its licensed use for obesity with the name of Saxenda, is injected once a day, and semaglutide is a medication which is injected once a week. And what we know is that while this development has been taking place, the efficacy of the medications have been increasing. So liraglutide, even though it is an analog of the same hormone, can cause approximately 8% weight loss at the 3 milligram dose, that is Saxenda. Whereas Wegovy, which is semaglutide 2.4 milligrams, can cause almost 16% weight loss at 1 year.
I see. Now, semaglutide was used in the STEP 1 trial. Can you tell us a bit about the STEP 1 trial, what it was and what it found?
So this was a trial that studied the effect and safety of Wegovy, semaglutide 2.4 milligrams, in people who had obesity. They did not have diabetes. They only had obesity, and some of them had pre-diabetes, but they did not have type 2 diabetes. There were thousands of patients recruited in many countries around the world, and it was a typical randomized controlled clinical trial, which means that some people got the actual drug, other people got placebo. And they were followed up for, in the STEP 1 study, a little bit more than a year. And what they found was that the total percent weight loss at approximately a year or so after initiation of treatment was 16% with the medication as opposed to about 2% or so with placebo. And at the time when it was published, that demonstrated the efficacy of the most effective medication available for weight loss at the time. So it was a successful study. It changed our thinking about obesity. It changed our expectations of obesity treatments. What it also showed is that semaglutide 2.4 milligrams was safe. That means that during the course of the study and its extension, which was beyond 1 year, it reached 2 years, what the investigators found is that these medications in this period of time did not cause any problems that are important, and these include, for example, problems with the heart or any form of cancers. But what they did find is that the medications can at least initially have side effects. These side effects are gastrointestinal in nature. The common ones are nausea, diarrhea, or constipation, but they disappear with time in the vast majority of people. It is in all of this, in this study and in all of these groups of medications, it is less than 10 or even less than 5% of people that have to discontinue treatment because of side effects. So it's a small percentage. There is also a small risk of developing gallstones and cholecystitis, inflammation of the gallbladder, or pancreatitis, inflammation of the pancreas with these medications, but this is rare. So overall, the safety profile is very favorable.